Okay, so today we got Rajiv Patel, and he is the owner of Nico's Barbershop. How many locations you got?
We got 3 locations, 2 in Gilbert and 1 in Mesa.
Give me a little background, Rajiv. Like, where are you from? What got you cutting hair? What got you into owning a barbershop? Give me just a quick bio about yourself.
All right, so I was born in Washington, D.C., first generation American. Both my parents immigrated here to the United States. My father from India, my mom from Nicaragua. So
Okay.
I grew up
Oh,
like in a multicultural home. Grew up pretty much a musician. Left home when I was 16. Hit the road. Always been entrepreneurial. Always creative, wanting to learn new things. I had a business that I sold in 2017. Took some time off and just was trying to figure out what was next. And for some reason, I got really into barbershops, and I didn't even cut hair at
you
the
were just getting
time.
your hair cut from somewhere?
Yeah, just getting my hair cut from somewhere. So I started thinking about the economics of it and how cool it was. And I'd love to drive by barbershops and just see even just videos of fades.
Yeah.
And so we signed our first lease on Baseline and Higley. That's our first
Okay.
location.
Yep.
And I didn't even know a barber, and I wasn't a barber. I just felt like that was what I needed to do. Gilbert needed a cool barbershop with a
For
cool
sure.
vibe. It went pretty well. The first year we were open, I was in school, so I was learning to cut hair, operating a barbershop that I owned. So it was a tough first year. At school, I was able to cut in my own shop. We started getting so busy that it just made sense to open another shop. So we opened our second shop in Mesa, and then we just opened our third in South Gilbert near Santan Mall.
So, what kind of time frame is all that then?
So we've been in operation for about 5.5 years
Okay.
since March of 2018.
That went quick, huh? Did it feel
Yeah,
like it went quick, or do you feel like, hey, this has been a long road to 5 years?
I feel like it went quick. It
That's
feels
good,
like it
man.
went quick, and honestly, I was just hoping that the one would work and it was going to be fun. I didn't expect it to be a multi-location business.
Cutting hair is art, right?
Absolutely,
And
yeah,
you sound like an artist. Like you love music, you love art.
yeah.
What did you play?
Guitar,
Guitar?
yeah.
Are you still playing the guitar?
Yeah, I still play the guitar,
Okay.
and a lot of people ask, like, when's the last time you picked up a guitar? I rarely pick up a guitar anymore, but I feel creatively fulfilled cutting hair. I'm literally coming here from the shop, so I've been cutting hair all day. I
So,
actually
man,
really love cutting hair. I love
what's the hardest part about cutting hair?
the hardest part of cutting hair is honestly the first couple years, getting to know how hair works, feeling comfortable, overcoming self doubt, gaining the self confidence.
Hmm.
So for me, it was extra hard because I owned the business and then I wasn't very good, so I had to put in a lot of work and overcome a lot of really bad days. And
How did you make that work? You owning it, not knowing how to cut hair.
so I got really lucky. I'm a believer in God, and I believe God kind of just put people in my path and really helped me. What it did for me though is I relied on them so much, so I kind of developed a sense of really giving back to my employees and empowering them, being humble from a leadership perspective because I really needed them.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would have been easier cutting hair initially and knowing the industry and everything like that, but I think the way that I did it, I had to really rely on them and serve them and make sure that they were taken care of, and that's kind of carried on. So that was a good leadership lesson to learn the way I did it. I kind of did it backwards, obviously.
It's a good way to look at it, right? And
Absolutely.
you used what you could at the time,
Yeah,
and that served you and them, and it brought you to where you are today.
absolutely.
You talked about where you came from, but how long have you been in Gilbert officially?
Gilbert officially since 2010. Two
Yes,
kids,
that's right.
7 and 9, and then we've pretty much been in Agritopia.
What were you doing before you started the business? Can you
I
elaborate on anything there?
Yeah, I owned a home security and automation company, so we just did anything from like cameras, home security systems, things like that.
Is there a point of inspiration you had where you're like, I remember this time, and this is when I knew I wanted to cut hair or own a barber shop?
For some reason, I love just to look at barbershops. It just was just called to me. So even just driving by and seeing the poles spinning, the smells, the culture of it, there is a culture, there's a history to it. And for some reason, I was drawn to it. I just had this feeling in my heart that that's what I needed to do.
Were you the guy that would go hang out in the barber shop for like, several hours and just kind of chit chat?
Not really. It's funny. There's a guy named Dave. He has his barbershop on McClintock and Southern. He cut my
Okay.
hair for years. He doesn't even know I became a barber or started barbershops.
Is he kind of the inspiration too?
He was a very chill guy. I loved going there. And I love being in there. So one of these days I need to go back and tell him,
Look what I did,
he's probably like
bro.
wondering where I went. Like, oh
Yeah.
man, Rajiv's been gone. I was cutting his hair for like 4 years. And one of the things I really liked about barbershops is the people aspect of it, connecting to the community.
Yeah.
And then also the client barber relationship. I realized that even though he was over on McClintock and I was living in Gilbert, I would still drive out there for haircuts.
Yeah.
And it was just because I wanted to be with him and talk to him and catch up. So I was really drawn to that community aspect and that people
Yeah.
connection.
There's a certain connection you have with your barber, your
Absolutely.
hairstylist, man. And people
Yeah.
go anywhere when they want their hair done if it's the right person. I came from the fitness industry and I coached fitness for 12 years. So I kind of know
Okay.
that same thing from a
Yeah.
different perspective. It's a cool thing, man, to have those people, talk to them every time they come in, learn their, life story, and then just, have that connection. Is there a certain type of hairstyle you love doing? Is there anything that you're like, yes, dude, I just love doing this one, or like a go-to?
There's always trends, like right now it's longer hair, mullets, euros, longer hair trends, kind of like you're seeing a lot of the 90s trends come back.
For sure.
So those are fun. They're challenging. They're more sheer work. I think for me, I like getting haircuts for things that I'm working on and trying to improve on. So like right now for me, I'm really trying to improve on longer hair.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much, fading and stuff like that. So I would say those are the ones that I really like because they challenge me the most.
Who is the demographic the most that comes in? I'm sure you do a little bit of everything, but are you mostly cutting young men, boys, girls, older guys, everything in between? Tell me who comes into the shop. And
as the day progresses, it switches, right? So
Mhm.
like mornings, it's older demographic. Midday, it's those hybrid workers working on their laptops, getting a quick haircut,
Yeah.
and then going back to work on their laptop. And then after 3, we'll see some of the young teens, kids with families. And that was one of the things that was really important to us. A lot of the cool barbershops I saw around the country are very masculine. Maybe there's some crude music playing or beers in the fridge. We wanted
Mhm.
to create like an environment for any age to feel comfortable in.
More like a family style,
More
or
like a family style, or anyone could feel comfortable and
Yeah.
safe being in there. Hopefully, we've achieved that because we see people as young as 1 years old, and we've had people 90 in their 90s come in.
you guys do standard haircuts too, I'm assuming, right?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
so anybody could come in there and no matter what type of hair they have, they can probably get their hair cut up the way they want.
I remember when we first started, I specifically asked people, what do you like about barbershops and what don't you like about barbershops? And one of the common things I heard from people about barbershops is people typically said they weren't comfortable. Like they didn't know what to say,
Okay.
they didn't know what to ask for, and so they just went to Great Clips
Yeah.
or Sports Clips, and you can get good haircuts there. I'm not saying you can't, but they just didn't feel comfortable going into a really specific niche environment. And so that's one of the things that we really try to work against as a barbershop and helping people feel comfortable through the consultation so that it's welcoming.
Yeah.
And so I do think that there is a little bit of a scary stigma. If you
Mhm.
haven't been to a barbershop, you don't know what to say or do. But that's one of the things we need to improve on as an industry for sure.
So how's your business evolved? Tell me a little bit about maybe where you started. I know you kind of touched on this at the beginning. What kind of evolution have you had to go through over time with the barbershop?
I tell people all the time, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just like have slowly figured out and learned as I've made mistakes. And we started with 3 employees. We have 21 employees now. We have 3 shops. We look at the lens of how can we create the best barbershop for someone to work at. In this last 5 years, we've learned a lot of lessons for sure. But I think initially it was learning how to better support the barbers and make things as smooth as possible for the clients. So we started out right away doing online booking. We have drinks in the shop. We try to get them in and out as possible, create a clean environment. We have receptionists to help us things run smooth, to maintain cleanliness and efficiency in the shop. So these are all just little things that we've learned along the way, and those hopefully when someone comes in, they notice a difference, they feel a difference. They're in a clean shop in a nice environment.
It sounds like you take a lot of pride, man, and that goes a
Yeah.
long way in businesses like that. Having a clean shop and the little details, like you said, people appreciate those things.
We try.
Even if you don't know what you're doing, you do the right things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That surround that, and you'll be successful, I feel like. If your business had a mascot, tell me what it would be and why.
Honestly, Nico's barbershop is named after my son. If you've seen him, he always has a smile on his face. He is very loving and caring and friendly. So it'd probably just be him.
Who
Works
doesn't
out.
love a smiley kid, man,
No,
with a good
yeah,
personality?
for
That's perfect. I like that. If you could collaborate with any local business or entrepreneur in the area, who would it be? Does anyone come to mind, and then why?
I love that question.
Do you ever team up with anyone for any charity work? Do you ever team up with anyone to kind of help promote each other?
Dang, you put me on the spot.
I
On
know
that
it's a
one.
tough one, right?
Yeah, that's good because there's so many great local businesses. We've worked with different brands over the years, like Iconic Arizona, Nick's the man, and Nick's come into the shop many times, and
Cool.
it's been great to see him grow into into what they've become. There's so many good local businesses. I live in Agritopia, so there's a lot of cool ones there.
Yeah.
Like Manor is there, and great restaurants like Belly. Dang, that one's a good question, bro.
Nick's a great guy. Nick could do great things, man. What's your favorite restaurant in Gilbert? If you don't have a favorite, give me like your top 3.
Hey, favorite restaurant, Belly.
Ooh, what do you get at Belly?
I'll always get the pork, the spring rolls. I'll get those. I like the clay pot, the pork and egg clay pot. We try to mix it up too. You know, we'll get like the skewers, just different.
Was that the family go-to spot? Is that like a date night for you and the wife?
It's both. Both. Yeah,
okay.
we'll go both ways with it. We like Joyride. Joyride's always solid.
Can't go wrong with Joyride.
Can't go wrong. We like Spinatos. We're happy Spinatos is close by.
I haven't been to Spinatos yet.
It's my hands down my favorite pizza. Yes.
Okay, that says a lot. I got to try it now.
You gotta try it. Like the secret is in the sauce. It's like kind of sweet. That's what sets it off.
So is it better than Fire and Brimstone to you?
I love Fire and Brimstone.
Yeah.
My kids like Fire and Brimstone better, and I love Fire and Brimstone, but I'm a little more on the Spinato side. So we go back and forth.
All right, I'm gonna have to give it a shot.
I love Fire and Brimstone too. We'll do the combo, the Fire and Brimstone, cream of the crop combo a lot too.
Is there a side project or anything you're into, a passion project, or maybe just something personal about you, like a hobby or anything that we could tell the followers?
I also sell wallets.
Oh,
It's a little. We did a Kickstarter in 2017, so before we opened the shop, and we still sell them online. They're just super simple. They have a zipper. You keep everything in here.
okay. It's like a little pouch then?
And then your main card goes on top. It's called Undivided Wallets. But this is like my little side thing.
Where do you sell it?
Just online, undividedwallets.com. And we don't sell a ton of them, but it's something I do on the side. So we're always working with new leathers, new colors, things.
Do you
like
make those personally, or do you have them manufactured?
We have them manufactured and made, and then I just honestly just ship them from my house when I get ordered. This is something I've been doing for a few years as well.
Nice. So if you weren't in the barber business, where do you think you would be?
Real estate.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'd be in real estate. Yeah,
you got a little side love for real estate?
I have my license.
Oh, do you?
Yes, sir.
Awesome,
I always
dude.
keep it active, and I don't, I'll do maybe a deal or two a year, but I love real estate. I could just go into homes all day and look at them, and it is kind of like a side hobby for me too. So I'd probably be in real estate.
Well, you're a detailed guy, so it's perfect for you. What's something you're into that's kind of different maybe, or just what have you been to for like your whole life? What do you like?
Music. So I'm a musician.
That's right. You
and
play
then
guitar.
My wife and I are huge sports fans, especially Suns. So we have like Suns season tickets. We're always at the games. You'll see at the shop we always release like cool Sun swag and shirts, and right now we have like a cool Diamondback shirt. We're always doing stuff around sports. We love going to sporting events and concerts, things.
Tell the followers, anyone listening, where they can find you. Your shop's located on, well, you got 3, but your main shop's on Higgling Baseline.
Yeah, that's our first shop, Higgling Baseline.
Your other 2 shops are
Greenfield and Warner. And Greenfield and Brown. Nico's Barbershop.com. We do appointments, so you just book online there. Come check us out. Every time you get a haircut, we donate a meal to feed my starving children through our 1-to-1 program, and that's something we've done since the beginning, and we've donated almost 120,000 meals at this point.
So cool, dude.
So that's it goes into our slogan, look good, do good. So we're always trying to find new things to donate to and participate in.
Awesome. What's your Instagram handle?
Nico's Barbershop AZ.
All right, check them out. And I'm gonna go get a haircut. I gotta check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Because right now, dude, I'm gonna be honest. I go down the street to Sports Clips, but I lost my barber.
Oh, okay.
Not too long ago, and it's hard to find someone that's good.
through.
So I'm gonna come through. Appreciate you coming in, guys. Check them out.
Thanks, Jeff.